All right. Hope you're having a good day. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about oil prices real quick. So, I don't know if you guys have looked, but oil has been on the uppity up for the last few days. In fact, if you look at 25th to 29th, not even a full week, 4 days, it's gone up. If you count the low, we'll just say 67, 68, whatever, as a low, and then up here 74, 75 as the high. It's like $5 in 5 days, So oil is on its way up. I want to give you guys an update on that. Natural gas, we are expecting natural gas to probably stay really, really low up until probably August or September of next year. The issues with natural gas will go up again, right? The combination of why it fell to the floor is, one, it is very volatile. Number two, Europe pulled all of their needs forward. They didn't care the pricing. They just pulled off. So they filled up all their tankers and everything in August through September of last year, October. And then they had a very, very light winter that composed with a lot of their citizens were pitching in together, burning wood as to using natural gas and much other things. So they got away with it. A lot of us were expecting Europe to be hurting very, very much. But they had a light wind, they got away with it. This next winter, depending on how harsh or not it is, they may not be able to get away with that as well. So we shall see. Either way, once their storage runs down, they'll start to be a very large purchaser of natural gas, and the price will likewise go up. All right, let's talk about this. This is a stock I follow. I don't know if you guys are stock people, but it's Gush. It basically is about exploration production in the shale region that I am purchasing a lot of. So, as you see here, you see some lines drawn on this. This is what's called a descending wedge. This line, you can actually draw it right here if you wanted to, but basically it forms a triangle, and it kind of goes through it, and then it goes down, and then eventually it will just break through that and pop up, right? But don't take my word for it. Let's talk to Google about it. Let's see here, descending wedge pattern. So as you see it right here in trade charts, it starts to go down, and it pops up, goes down, and then it pops back up, right? Is it bullish? The answer is I didn't answer very well. It is bullish. Where is it? Here we go. The failure rate for an upward breakout is only 8 to 11%. So what does that mean? So what happens is you basically, depending on which it goes off of, I'm going to go off this guy, but if we go off this one, it'll be about the same, but a little higher. Basically take this line and you go from when it broke it, the last time it broke it, and you say, hey, it's probably going to break it sometime around here. So it should be about, that is your new high, right? The old one was about 250. The next one would be about 285, 284, 285, give or take, because you measure from the top here to the bottom, and then once it breaks over, bam. So if you take it from the smaller line, it'll go, let's see here, about halfway. So even if we break through it and go halfway, be about 225, give or take. So it'd be the same ones that would serve as resistance. But here's the thing: as you follow these lines through, when is it going to start to decide if it's going to break down or break up? Right? It's right in the beginning of May. Okay, kind of late April, early May. So we're going to know in the next 2 to 4, maybe 5, 6 weeks where it's going. But there is a very large, I'd say 80% chance to the upswing as opposed to the down. So that means oil is going to fly through the roof type thing. It's going to be good. All right. Let's see here. Minerals. Let's talk about minerals. So right now, a lot of sellers are basically saying, hey, I was offered this in December, back when prices were freaking through the back when prices were up here. You know, oil prices are down here right now. There's still a bit of lag on the seller side, right? They'll eventually soften up, we hope. But my point is this: the minerals that we have right now, I would definitely jump on them because we're getting them at good deals, especially for oil and gases with a high upside from when the summer comes. Gonna have another deal coming out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Well, it's gonna come out tomorrow after 5 p.m. Excuse me. Half of it's already pre-taken. If you're interested, if you've seen what we've done before, and you're like, yeah, just let's count me in, or you know, I'm heavily interested. Let me know ASAP. I will say this: where the economy is going, I like minerals because there's no liability, right? I think a lot of people will get caught up in, hey, I've got all these houses, I've got all these things, I've got a ton of stuff in the stock market, and all of a sudden the floor falls out underneath them, and they get margin called if they're in the stock market, or they get they lose the majority of their net worth, or if they're in houses or multifamily, single family, such like that. They're going to get cash calls because real estate is great, but you know what? In a recession, everything comes out. In a recession, remember this: in a recession, especially a heavy one, your assets become liabilities. I'll say it again: in a recession, your assets become liabilities, and that's if you have a loan on them to service a loan. But if you don't, you still got taxes and everything else that happen. But your assets can become liabilities, and so just watch out for that. Number where you are. I'm not saying sell everything and just hold cash, but I'm saying make sure you hold some cash. Make sure you've got some in assets that are not going to have a cash call on you or anything like that, and you should be pretty good. Minerals are one of those. I love it. If you have any questions, let me know. But also where this economy is going and the pain people are facing. I actually had a date with a girl who has a great story of that. Her name will be nameless, but she does work for a large bank, and I will have to do a walk and talk on that because just everything she was talking, she just had like a big kind of complaint moment. Everything she was saying was like, wow, this is where the average American is, and she makes a great wage, you know, but this is where people are, and just some things that I took from that. So I'll be sharing that as soon as I can put it together. Last point, I am headed to Oklahoma to look at some rigs. I've got some time with some higher ups. So if you have any questions on oil and gas, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what they are. I want any and all of them, no matter how smart or not they are. I had one that was a great example. Someone emailed me or messaged me today and said, hey, you know, how are they feeling? Has the banking crisis affected the oil and gas industry or oil and gas companies, exploration companies yet? Or do they plan on it? Will they? You know, so that's a great one. I feel like I know half the answer to that already, but I'm going to ask some really heavy higher ups, and I will report to you guys back with the answer. But let me know your questions. Again, we've got a project coming out tomorrow, so if you are interested, definitely let me know, and I will talk with you then.